here at work. Our wiring guy Alan is starting to wire up this twin turbo C10 Chevy. He's already got the Holley dash wired in, and it's got the Holley intake manifolds and intake manifold and fuel rails. And then you got the Holley dash, which he's got covered up right now. And then he's getting the ECU wired in right now. So this project is coming along really nicely. We still got to do the bed. Come on, focus. We still got to do the bed and do the bracing and basically rear cage kind of for the bed. Just a new support for the bed and support structure for the bed. And then we got this tube front started for this car, and it's going to be awesome. Got the channel all ground out, as you saw in my video yesterday, so that we can recess the tube front into the original front subframe. The mounts are welded on, so this is going to be getting done today, hopefully. Also, the bash bar for this twin turbo Infiniti G37 is done. We've got the intercooler positioned. It's going to have top and bottom tanks instead of side tanks, because it is going to have twin Turbonetics billet wheel 56 mil turbos. The other one's under there. And then we got started on the exhaust. I cut the original flanges off of the old NA exhaust, and we are going to reuse those. I sanded them all flush and flat and decked them, and they're beautiful and ready for us to build the front mount turbo setup, which is going to go, each turbo is going to go right here underneath the headlight on both sides. Then we've got the windshield out and the cage interior gutted so that we can get started on the cage and get this one out the door as well. Here we are waiting for the compressor to charge up, and I'm going to try my hand at some tube bending to finish up some pieces for this tube front on this S13 hatch. And I've never bent tube before. I've never built cages before. My boss gave me a very short tutorial yesterday, and I'm going to give her a go, see if I can get this done. So, my very first time bending pipe was a close but no cigar scenario. I guess I put the die in the wrong place, because it's supposed to fit inside of that channel, and they both extend out that much. It's even, but unfortunately it's just a little bit too wide on the bends. For just sending it though, I got closer than I thought I was gonna. Well, sometimes the boss isn't around, and apparently the gearing for the lathe isn't correct. It's set up for the drill right now in this machine. So, I need to polish this pipe to bend for this tube front that I screwed up the first time. He's not here to set the lathe up, so sometimes you gotta get creative. A little electrical tape and a drill, sticker in the end of the pipe, you spin her nice and slow, polish it up. It works great. When you got to do the pedal for your boss because it doesn't reach. And we have 2 ground clamps hooked up as well. Alright, so back here today at DMN Fabworks. This is the progress that we made on the tube front. It's all tacked up. I made these aluminum bash bar plates. It's going to have an aluminum bash bar. That way, in the event of an accident, it crumples the bar and doesn't bend the frame. And it's going to have the tube front to take up a lot of the shock too, so it should be pretty sturdy. We're thinking about doing a V-mount setup for the radiator and intercooler. As you can see, the only thing that we would have to do is we would have to build a fill tank to fill the coolant at the top level of the engine, since that would put the radiator too low. I'm not sure how that would work. We're doing a little research right now, so we will see how that goes. And that's only if the customer decides that they do indeed want it this way. We've sent him pictures. He said he wanted V-mount, but he doesn't seem to like this setup a whole lot, which I can understand. So we're going to figure that out. But yeah, I just finished up these aluminum bash bar plates, and they're symmetrical on both sides. I did sand them together, and they turned out really nice. I got this fiberglass front end and stock front bumper and hood all fit up on this thing now. It was just a bare front end when I started. Nothing ahead of the, there's nothing from here forward except for these frame rails down here. So nothing from here forward. So we've done all this work on this front end in the last couple of days. I already gave you an update on the C10 and the G35. I did bring my GC 626 turbo here. As you can see, there is my GD 626, and right over there is my GC 87 626 GT turbo. Got to fix some rusted out strut towers, and then I might retire this car as a daily driver and start daily in that one, turn this one into an autocross car, or vice versa. I just haven't decided yet. The GC has more rust. This car has a little tiny bit of rust right here, but it's non-cancerous. So it does not go through. It's just that edge of the frame rail, so maybe it can be saved. The rear towers are not rusted at all like the GC, so we'll see how it goes. One thing though is I just cannot get over how gorgeous this Chevy is. I wish I had had more of a hand in building this. But all the manifolds and up pipes and wastegate dumps and all that stuff were done before I came to work here. Actually, before he came to work here, this truck was done at another shop that he worked at before he opened his business, and the customer opted to have him finish it at his own shop instead of leaving it at the other shop to have somebody else finish it. So we ended up with it, and yeah, she's going to be gorgeous when it's done. Our wiring guy is almost finished, so we will see how things go over the next couple of days. We might get started on hustling and building this out. We got to mount the fuel cell, build cross bracing for the frame. We cut all the old cross bracing out, and we're going to re-brace the rear. Probably do some small tube chassis, like a partial tube chassis in the rear. So this will be fun.